Hello, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see how to join and separate the objects and also how to insert the face in between the two edges. So first of all, I will extrude this top face. So in order to enter into the edit mode, we have to press tab and I will go to the face mode by pressing 3. So I will select this face and now first I will insert this face. So in order to insert, we need to press I and just you need to drag the mouse and left click. So now I will extrude this and I will press E. So I can press E here. So now what the thing is, I want to separate these faces because if you go to the object mode, now you can see it is a single object. But what the thing is, I want to separate these top faces here. So what I will do is I will go to the edit mode and I will select all the faces. So by pressing 3, I will go to the face mode. And now in order to separate these faces from this object, so just we need to select the faces which you want to separate and we have to right click and there is an option called separate and selection and the shortcut is P. So just we need to click on this selection. Now see in the outliner, so this has been separated. So I will undo. So previously it was single object. So if I undo now see if I go to the object mode, now it was single object. So here it was single object. So whenever I go to the face mode and if I select these faces and if I right click and if I use this separate option, now whatever the faces we have selected, it has been separated and created one separate object here. So if I go to the object mode, now say this object and this object is separated. So like if I move this, now I will move this and I will move in the x-axis. See now it has been separated. And what the thing is, when you separate these faces, it will create one hole. So now if I want to fill this hole, so we need to go to edge mode so that I will select these two edges. So for example, if I select this edge and shift select this edge, now if I want to fill this face, we need to press F so that it will fill the face here. Okay, once again I will explain. So for example, if I go to the face mode and if I select insert I, and now for example, if I select this face and if I delete, and now we have to click on this face. So if I delete this, so now in order to fill this face, we need to select these two edges. So and just we need to press F so that it will fill the face here. No need of selecting all the edges here. So just we need to select either these two edges and we can press F so that it will fill. So if I go to the move tool, now I can move this face, and if I want to move in the x-axis, I can select X so that I can move in the x-axis, and I can insert this. We can insert again. If I want to extrude, we can press E. So in this way we can fill the faces here. And also when we separate this, so for this also there will be a hole here. So just I will go to the object mode and I will select this object and edit mode. Just I will go to the edge mode and select these two edges and just press F. Now we can fill this face. So now these are the two objects which has been separated from one object here. So again, if you want to join these two objects, in case suppose let's say if you have created two separate objects and laterly you want to join this. So this can be done when you are creating character modeling, vehicle modelings example. So let's say you have created two objects and again I want to join this into single object. We need to select these two objects and just right click. There is an option called join and the shortcut is Control J. So just if you press Control J, it will join. So again, if you want to separate, you can select the faces and you can separate. And also now we can go to the edit mode. You can select the faces and whatever, like if you want to insert, you can insert, and if you want to extrude, you can extrude. So in case if you want to separate it again, you can go to the face mode, you can select and right click. There is an option like separate. Now we'll see how to duplicate the vertex, edges, and faces. So for example, most of the time we will duplicate the faces according to the model which we are doing. So for example, let's say if I go to this face mode here, and let's say I will insert this and press I. So after insert, now what we can do is, suppose if we want to duplicate this face, so just we need to press Shift D so that it will duplicate the face here. And if you press Y, it will duplicate in the Y axis. Same like duplicating an object. See, for example, if you go to the object mode and if you press Shift D, then we can duplicate this object here. So same in this way, we can duplicate the faces, edges, and vertex. So most of the time we will use a face mode. So if you select this and if you press Shift D, it will duplicate, and just you can move any one of the axes and just left click. And now what the thing is, if you after you duplicate this face, still it will be considered as a single object. So if you want to separate this face and if you want to create any new object from this face, we need to separate this face here. So I will go to the face mode. So select the face. So if you first we go to the object mode and select the face, and now I can right click, you can like separate here. So separate selection. Now this has been considered as a separate object. Now we can do whatever we want. Like if you go to the face mode and you can extrude, and if you want to insert any loop, we can press Ctrl R. We can insert the loop here. So left click now and just left click. So it will create any subdivision like loop here. And now we can select the face. Just we can extrude. So this will be very helpful by duplicating all these faces here. So for example, if you want to create any window, so I will show one object here. So just I will create an object. So Shift A, just I will create an cube here, and I will move this to the y-axis. Let's I will create any window. So just I will scale this by using S, and I will select this object. So first we need to go to the object mode. Okay, now one thing, see here, I have created the cube when we are in the edit mode of this object here. So when you do that, after creating the cube, this will be considered as a single object. So I will show you example. See, now we are in the object mode. So let's I will create like plane. So if I create this plane and if I move in the x-axis, whatever. So now say this is a separate object. But when we are in the edit mode of this object, so let's say if you press tab, now we are in the edit mode. So when we are in the edit mode and if you create any object like plane, cylinder, cone, whatever, and now so we can move. And now after going into the object mode, so this thing will be considered as a single object. So make sure when you want to create any object separately, we need to go to the object mode and we need to create the object so that it will be created separately. So I will show one example now. So let's say just I will delete all this. So like we can select everything and just we can delete. So I will create a cube here. So Shift A, so mesh and cube. So just I will scale in the y-axis, and now I will scale uniformly. So let's say now I want to create any window for this wall. So what we can do is we can go to the edit mode and we can select the face, and I can use the insert option. So just press I. Okay. Now what the thing is, just I need to create some sort of frame here. So let's say again I will press I in this way. Now I will push this face inside. So you can press extrude, you can push inside. And now what the thing is, I want to create the door exactly with this same size of this face which has been selected here. So what the thing is, before creating the window, actually we need to delete the face so that it will create an hole. So laterly we have to create the door here. But what the thing is, again we want to create the door exactly with this same size here. So instead of creating the another cube with the same size, because it will take some time to match this same size. So what we'll do is we need to duplicate this face. So I will select this face and press Shift D, and I can move in the y-axis. Now it is still it has been considered as a single object. Now I will go to the edit mode, face mode, and now I will right click separate. So now this has been considered as a separate object. Now if you go to the edit mode, now you can see it has been separated. So we can create a door from this cube, this plane here. So I can go to the edit mode, face, and you can extrude little bit. And in case if you want to create any sort of design, I can use like insert and extrude little bit inside. Now I can move this, like I can use like G. So see now, before inserting this, we need to select this face and just we can delete, and now we can select this, just we can put inside. So laterally what the thing is, we will give the transparent material to this window, like the particular face which you want to make it transparent. So for example, laterally we will apply the transparent material to this thing so that we can look through this glass, and whatever the objects we place in inside, we can see through this object. And also I will show you like how to create the face between the two edges too. Like for example, if I create another cube, shift A, and let's say I will create another cube here, and just I will scale. And now what the thing is, again I will duplicate this, so I will move in, and let's say I will just like scale this, so I can press S. So now what the thing is, let's say we'll create another face here, so I will go to tab 3, select the face, just insert, do the same thing for this cube here. Now I want to create the face between these two objects here. So see, if I select this, now see, I want to create the bridge kind of thing between these two faces. So first of all, in order to insert the faces between these two objects, we need to join these two objects, because now these objects are separate. We cannot create any face between these two objects here. So in order to do that, we need to join these two objects, so that we can select these two objects, right click and click on join. Now what the thing is, if I go to the edit mode, so let's say if I go to the edge mode, like press 2, and if you select this one, and if you press F, see now it has been created one edge here. So we need to select this one, F, F, and just we need to select these two edges and press F. So now you can see we can create the face between the two edges by pressing F here. So that's it for this video. See you in the next lesson.